Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 4 of the Zero to Hero Keystone Master. This episode we're going to start off with a torghast, layer 10. Can't go much higher than layer 10 because my gear's just not up there yet. Was looking here at the first power up here, and maybe you guys can kind of figure out my worry here, but that cooldown reduced by 30 seconds to a minimum of 30 seconds makes it seem like no matter what I get on, like maybe my leg sweep cooldown reduced, or maybe my touch of death reduced, maybe that would, I don't know, maybe benefit me more to actually have taken that. I'm not very sure. So I got that power up, and then I've got this next one, which is going to be, I want to say a Venom. Yep. And a couple things I've learned. This monk is not my warrior. I'm so used to playing a prot warrior that looking at prot warrior compared to Brewmaster monk, it seems like to me I have no survivability. So I'm still learning everything there. Pick up this guy here. Try not to get by the trap. Don't want to get hit by it. And then pick up my third power up for the run. Don't have Tiger's Lust. I'm not running that talent, so I went ahead and picked up the Winds for the haste buff. What's this? The fourth one. Not big fan of this technique of the Tiger Palm. Healed myself. Was gonna start healing myself to full. Went ahead and picked up that War Sword, so I can pick up my sixth power of the run, or fifth. This is the fifth power. Sorry. I always feel like the soul remnants are better because the main stat just seems like it's so much more beneficial. So here we are. This is the first boss. Take him down pretty easy. One thing I have realized is that it seems like I don't do much damage other than the touch of death. Picked up the spinning crane kick. It looked like it would be the better of the choices here. Here comes another Tiger Palm. I could see it maybe being beneficial, but the thing is, it just seems like Tiger's Palm is my spend. If I have extra, energy or, extra things, that's what I would just use. It also, I know, helps bring down my brew cooldown. As you saw, that was my first death of the run. Went ahead and got the reduction of the touch of death, and I even said, screw it, I'm not gonna fight those guys again. Pretty easy, turn in Indigo here to her friend. Silly on me though. You'll see I'll finish these guys up and turn them in, and I didn't even pick up the power up. I don't know what I was thinking about. Maybe I was just, daydreaming or something. But yeah, I never even picked up the power. And here we go. This is the boss for the floor 2 here. I'm going to spare you guys. This was I'm going to say 5-minute fight. It was actually a pretty long and ridiculous fight, I thought. So I went ahead and cut it down. As you see, we're coming back here. I'm almost dead. I'm having trouble killing this guy. Finally got him down here. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and settle in. After I figured out what this talent is. I obviously don't know the talents by heart yet. And I finally figured out it was the extra roll and the cooldown reduction of roll. decided to go against that one and take the spinning crane kick as well. Maybe kind of trying to build off that spinning crane kick to make sure my damage is up. And I think I've also got the one that reduces... No, I didn't get this one. On another run, or one of the other power-ups is that you reduce your damage taken by 10% while using spinning crane kick. Kind of like narrowing yourself, where you can narrow yourself down to a spinning crane kick build maybe. But this is all kind of new with me. I've really only played Druid and Warrior in torghast. I thought the best one here, even though that Touch of Death would be better, I think, for survivability, I felt like I needed more damage, especially after that last boss. Looking around here at the shop, the only thing I really thought that was actually beneficial would have been the Touch of Death cooldown, the blackout kick where it increases it by 50% and lets me kind of AoE now with it. I think that's actually very, very beneficial to have that. The Celestial will probably be as good as well. I'm not very sure what you get for Mistweaver though, so I was kind of hesitant on taking that. Here we go, we're going to go ahead and move on to floor 4 now. Floor 4 was pretty rough as well. I guess I'm just not paying attention to how much stagger I have here. I died from stagger there. These chest anima powers are always pretty fun to me. Kind of just spamming back and forth till you finally see like a little faint glow off to the side here, and you know, hey man, you're doing something right. Finally get it here, open it up. I end up taking the blackout kick, so now it's up 50%, no 100%, and it should be hitting, I think, 5 guys now. I'm not very sure. Again, another spinning crane kick upgrade. So I guess that's a dot. If I heal myself with Vivify, it would maybe put a dot on the enemy for 50% of the damage. Seeing as I'm tank, my Vivify only heals for about 2,000, so it's not very beneficial to me. And this is the boss for floor 4. It was a lot better. I think it's mainly to do with the blackout kicks though, because I'm critting on a blackout kick for about 9,000, 10,000 damage there. So with that and the keg smash plus the breath of fire, I'm actually starting to do some damage. I end up taking celebrity here to give me the extra roll. I really didn't remember picking or figuring out which boss is which coming up. And for whatever reason, I didn't spend the last 250 anima I had. Could have picked up another ability, maybe kind of help me with this boss. I left the whole boss fight in here so you guys can see the whole fight. You'll see what I'm talking about, how the Tiger Palm sometimes could mess you up by bringing you back in the swirlies when you want to stay away from them. This is the swirl that I was talking about. I tiger bombed right there, and I brought back into that brown one, and it almost scared me that I was going to get hit by it, which I don't think it's actually anything too major. But as you see, I just feel like I don't do much damage here. Maybe I'm just not used to it yet, and I just feel like my warrior does better. So that's the first of a couple torghast runs I'll run, but I think this is the only one for the episode. So I went ahead and skipped here. We're going to go ahead and pick up a group for this Iron Docks key that I have. This is a fairly fun dungeon, I think. I can remember back to the times whenever I was playing Warlords of Draenor as my druid, and it was I thought it was very fun. While I'm queuing for the dungeon here, I'm out here just looking for maybe some gear that I could pick up. Maybe some anima, because I think I'm still running a pretty crappy ring right now, so I was trying to figure out maybe if somebody had a ring. Picked up a druid, warrior, and a monk, trying to kind of leather stack here, so maybe that way I could have better chances at gear. So this is going to be a Mythic Plus 2 Iron Docks. It's on a tyrannical week, so it's fairly easy. For the first pull here, you can normally pull these first 3 packs, or these 2 packs and this extra guy here, kind of stack them up together. Pretty easy pack. Nothing real major that happens in this one. The foot soldiers can sometimes charge like the healers and the ranged casters and interrupt them. So the next pack here is pretty easy as well. Just these couple guys, the champions, nothing different than the last one you pulled from the other pack over here. Normally you would want to pull this Siege Master guy alone instead of with this whole pack as well. No biggie. Since it is a tyrannical week, maybe if it was a fortified week, we'd probably have pretty much some trouble with it. I try to ring a piece everything together so maybe we can get some more AoE damage down, because I see I am running out of Purifying Brews, and I'm getting pretty heavy on the stagger part here. Trying to stay alive. I line of sight my healer there. Kind of bad on my part. Trying my best to stay alive. I think I'm actually standing in fire. I'm almost just kind of panicking, hoping I don't die here. Got a massive Celestial Brew off there. I think I had 6 or 7 stacks of the Purifying Brew drop-off stacks. As you saw, the Captain Worgen Druid died. I think the healer was apologizing to him, saying, hey, you know. And it was actually kind of a weird Covenant choice for this healer. The healer is actually Necrolord. I didn't notice that at the time while we were running, but now as I'm watching this back and doing a voiceover, Necrolord is not the best one for Druid at all. I think it's everyone's kind of come to the point that it is the best overall is Night Fae, except for tank. I think I will always think that Necrolord for the tank is better, but even Bastion I think comes out to be very good as well with the pots you can get. And so now we move on to Dreadfang. It's a 2-person boss. Here you have Dreadfang, which is the mount that he's riding on, and then you have Fleshrender, Nokkar. Dreadfang doesn't do much while he's getting rode, but right after you get Dreadfang to 50%, they separate. Dreadfang will then do these charging mauls that he does there. Not very much damage, but it is something you want to watch out for. Maybe you try to sidestep. Fresh Render over here, he doesn't do much. He does this reckless provocation, which just fears you if you're in melee range. These actually fire arrows are actually getting pretty annoying. We accidentally pulled this little pack here. At this point, I was pretty upset with the druid. You know, this is the third time that he's done something wrong in my mind. But it's no biggie. This is just a +2, so I'm just going to kind of try to let everything slide around. As you see here, the boss is fairly easy. It's just a tyrannical one. So kind of a lot of HP. We got the packs under control here. So it's just DPS him down. Comes up the next part here. One of the major things that tanks have to do in this part of the dungeon is right after the first boss, you have these two big ogre laborers. You need to pull both of them, keep stacks on you, or keep aggro on you, and you want to try to line them up for this first ball here. And I don't know if the team just thought I was going to get in the ball or what, but my job is to line them up. So I'm sitting here, and you see I actually go into a panic here. I think I'm getting ready to die, and I'm trying everything I can to get inside this ball now. Was able to get him killed, and so I didn't die, thankfully. And when you're looking at your percentage for this dungeon, you're looking for 51% before you continue on. So you want to try to get 51% with the balls and the trash you pulled before. Pretty easy to get. For a Mythic 10 Plus, this is a normal pull here. I completely forgot with non-Mythic Plus, this is an Ogre Labor, and they actually do quite a lot of damage with their flurry attack. On a Mythic 10 Plus, this would be one of the infiltrators here, so. I don't really worry too much about the spinning blades on the ground. I think they leave you a dot. Doesn't do too much damage. Nothing really new in this pack. One of the things that I don't like about these Warlords of Draenor's dungeons is you don't have much room to move. So as you see, I didn't notice it, I guess, at the time, but I'm just standing in fire here the whole time. I've got these whirling blades going left and right of me, and I've got fire sitting right up under me. I kind of messed up here. I went ahead and ran over here and pulled this Ogre Laborer while they were shooting. So as you see, I almost killed my whole team here. Just the small things I guess maybe I need to work on. Other than the flurry attack, these laborers do a thundering stomp, and it doesn't do too much damage, but it does do a whole bunch of AoE, especially later on when you have like the raging mechanic and the I can't think of off the top of my head, the one that as the people die they buff. The thundering stomp can actually end up doing quite a lot of damage. Once this pack dies, you'll see that they say, they're out of ammo. Sometimes, though, you still do need to wait out the next cycle of attacks here. This next boss is the Enforcers. There's 3 of them. I normally try to take down the magic one first, the one that casts Blood Bolt. He uses a ability called Blood Sphere, and it basically shields the lowest health Enforcer, and if that shield is broken, it heals all of them by 3%. And as you see, that's the first time I've finally really looked at the Feral Druid's damage. After the magic guy is done, I normally try to focus the, hunter one, the one that's shooting the gun. But either choice is very fine. I just normally feel that the traps can sometimes really harm more than the waves of fire. Finish this boss off, and it's on to the next pack. The next pack here will be the first cleft hook you'll ever fight. Pretty easy as well. Nothing too major. The cleft hook will do a thundering charge. If you can get aggro before anybody else on your team, it is very beneficial for you to taunt and then walk into the side of the wall there to maybe try to get him to charge to the wall. If not, you'll have to deal with him walking just like this one here. Oh no, he didn't walk that far. But normally he could walk, half the walkway over there, and then you're waiting for him to come down to AoE him down with the other. Nothing really new with this one. It is just 3 of the Wranglers. They do have a bad bleed that they can put on you. And it doesn't stack up on me too much here because they all disengaged at the right time. But sometimes they can stack you 3 or 4 times with the bleed. And that can actually be very detrimental to your health. Then comes the Flame Spitter. The Flame Spitter actually just is annoying more than anything because you already have very little room here, and as you see on the first barrage he just drops it absolutely everywhere. And then he'll do a Lava Breath, which will just make a big cone in front of him. So now you've done, ruined a good portion of where you were standing. Luckily, it doesn't stay on the ground too long, but as you see, it is pretty annoying. And that's what I was talking about, how they could run away all the way from you. Now you've got a cleft hook and the Flame Spitter again, with just all this happening right in front of you. It's actually pretty hard to see everything in front of you. There goes another Trampoline Stampede. They also do AoE bleed if you don't take care of it. This will be the actually last trash pack of the dungeon. Nothing really major here. Very easy. And I don't want to flame anybody here, but Captain Morgan had higher item levels than me in this. I'm just going to assume that it was a new player, and there's nothing wrong with new players. But remember that if you are playing and you want to look anything up, it is very possible that maybe the guy just doesn't know his proper rotation, or maybe he's not doing his combo points correctly. This boss right here does a charge mechanic similar to Dreadfang. He also does another Savage Mauling where he kind of pins the person down. He also summons, he has, all these animals next to his boss area here. Pretty much, he just releases them. There's 3 different types you can have. You can have the wolves that come out. You can have I think it's called a Sky Terror, and then a Rook, which both the Sky Terror and Rook are one person. You can just paralyze them, hibernate them, freeze and trap them. And you'll see here in just a second, he will go to release the Rook, I think. And I didn't see the Hunter freezing trap. And I didn't know if anybody actually knew the mechanic or not. So you'll see here, I'll pull up my spellbook and put paralysis on my spellbook. And I'll actually just probably keep it from there often, because it is pretty handy. Somehow though, it loses my paralysis on it. So here I am. I'm going to try to tab target and do it again. Didn't realize my paralysis is a 30-second cooldown. Luckily, I think the healer knew what he was doing and hibernated it real quick. So that's the 3rd boss. Come on to the 4th boss. This is also a 3-man fight here. You're really only fighting 2 of them at a time. Kormar is pretty easy. He does this leap ability where he jumps around. I don't ever typically follow him when he jumps around like that. I normally just wait for him to come back to me. After the first cannon barrage, I think he does a leap, or he has the choice of doing a blade storm. Sometimes the blade storm can really suck. You'll see it here. Pretty easy. The rest of the dungeon here. He'll do this cannon barrage, and you just hide behind the boxes, kind of like what we did earlier when we were traversing to the 3rd boss or 2nd boss. As you see, he comes back with his blade storm. I just waited till he come all the way back, and now it's time that we DPS him down, and the guy comes off that cannon. The guy in the cannon doesn't do much after the cannon, but while he's on the cannon, he really does do a lot of AoE damage down. That's really the rest of the dungeon. Skulllock just does another cannon barrage, knocks us back, hide behind the crates, wait for him to finish the cannon barrage, roll into him up here, see if we can maybe DPS him down and finish him off. that you see here, shameless plug, I have absolutely no problem asking anybody for loot. And so I asked the rogue here if he needed that helmet, because if he didn't need that helmet, I'm more than willing to take it. So that's the end of the dungeon there. And I just want to take a second and thank you guys for joining me for episode 4. I know it's kind of short with only 2 dungeons. That torghast run, I cut a 45-minute clip down into 10 minutes. So I'm probably not going to add any more torghast. Everybody's seen torghast, and it looked like it would be a good thing, but it ended up being kind of annoying, really. But other than that's it. Thank you guys for watching episode 4. Please like, comment, maybe subscribe to me. It'd mean a lot. Thank you.